So first off, right off the bat, you'll see my truck is very different right off the bat. My truck is a 1963 Corvette split window body. Nobody else runs a Corvette. The last time a Corvette was even ran was back in 1980s, 1990s. So I brought something back different, old school. My truck is also a front engine truck where my engine sits in front of the driver's seat. So I actually sit farther back in the truck. Those are kind of the biggest things right now on what my truck is very different. But other than that, my truck is almost the same as anybody else's. 8 shocks, nitrogen shocks, 66-inch tires, big blown alcohol motor, 2-speed transmission. So it's just like any other truck, just a few of the components to it are a little bit different.
So you knew early on you wanted to do this for a living.
Absolutely.
How early?
Ever since I can really remember. I know ever since I was born, my parents have always brought me up to the event center to do to come to the shows. Every February, I was always here. So this is where it all began for me, and I am so happy I get to come back and get to show everybody that I'm living out my life dream.
So were you a bit of a daredevil growing up here?
Honestly, not really. My brother was more of the daredevil than anything. You dare him and he'd absolutely do it. You dare me and I'd think twice about it all the time. But the monster trucks was just something that always brought something out in me that I loved, and it was a desire, and I knew I had to do it.
So you're how old?
I am 25 years old.
25 years old, and what style do you think you bring to this that's a little different from all the others?
You know, I kind of the old school style. My mentor and the boss I first started with, he'd been doing it for 30 plus years, and he was kind of like that. He started back in the mud bogging days, and when they had the monster tanks. Then he got some monster trucks together, and then we got this one built, and I started driving it. So I learned a lot from him. Honestly, everything I've learned has really come from him, and he's just a really old school guy, and so I have a lot of that still in me. I try to do some new inventive stuff that people are coming out with nowadays, but honestly, a lot of the old school driving to me is still what I like to do, and a lot of fans still love the old school stuff.
So this is almost Valentine's Day, and nothing says love like, some pounding noise off your chest and some excitement in the turf here, right?
Absolutely.
That's Wyoming dirt, sir. I assure you, you should have some advantage with that for a guy that grew up here.
Yep, absolutely. Nothing says love like big 1,500 horsepower motors. So.